Minority groups such as African Americans, Mexican immigrants, and women were often hardest hit by the Depression. When employers were forced to lay off workers, African Americans were routinely the first to go.
But Southerners expected whites to dominate the government and the economy, and they insisted on local administration of many New Deal programs. And that ensured that the AAA and the NLRA would exclude sharecroppers and tenant farmers and domestic servants, all of whom were disproportionately African American.
Likewise, African Americans were the last ones to be hired as long as there were white men seeking jobs.
Only property-owning farmers actually saw the benefits of the AAA, so most African-American farmers who were tenants or sharecroppers continued to suffer.
Although FDR tried to implement labor assistance to include blacks, their problems were often put secondary to those of whites, leading to riots among the black communities.
Mexicans were seen as a threat to the job market. Many immigrants were deported, and some state governments even forbade immigrants to enter their borders.
Yet Mexican Americans who still remained in the U.S. lined up for relief benefits.
Since domestic servants were seen as expendable luxuries, many women lost the only jobs for which they were eligible. Some women were hired into factory work because they could be paid less than men for the same job. Women who were employed this way came under fire from men who thought they had no business working in the first place, especially when many men couldn't afford to feed their families.
More than presidents and first ladies during the early 20th century, FDR and Eleanor aimed to support minorities in some ways. The Civilian Conservation Corps provided young black men with jobs, but other programs such as the Agricultural Adjustment Administration and WPA that were initially meant for benefits for all Americans heavily favored whites.